Hello and welcome. I'm your host Elizibar, and we are gonna do reads of the week, which involves me shaking my hands at the camera for some reason. All right, so I got a bunch of books here, and I haven't really thought about how to rank them. So we are totally gonna do this at like an omega level on the fly. One thing I can't put in here is Adobe Kroger Dame Commander. I literally just read it, and I only have digital, so I don't have a physical token to represent it. We shall use this bright orange sheet to represent Adobe Kroger. So just remember that when I'm doing this. I just recorded a review for it. Oh, so what was the worst thing that I read this week? Like all this stuff, what was actually bad? That's always a hard question to answer. While I'm thinking about that, let me just like drop the Scooby Doo down here so you got something to look at. Actually, I think it's basically the stuff out of the 50 cent bin was kind of like below the threshold of okay for one reason or another. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, and the Flash. Yeah, huh, there we go. So here's this was below the threshold of okay. I think I had like two half things I liked in this. One was some art, and the other was I don't even remember. So yeah, that's pretty bad. Oh, I think I kind of liked the Green Arrow story, which is weird for me because I don't really like Green Arrow, but whatever. Yeah. So Flash, it's just not very good. The first story at the beginning is like, oh, King Shark is upset that people dump trash in the ocean. Get over it, King Shark. The ocean's gigantic, and the fish in the ocean, most of that crap. Not all of it, most of it. Like, okay, I can understand getting upset like about like oil spills or you're dumping a lot of plastic, but you can't really blame the cruise ships for the plastic because that's mostly done by people dumping trash in like the Ganges River and the Yangtze River and stuff. That's not a cruise ship thing. So King Shark is an idiot, which he might have been already. Then the other news story was a Grodd story, and it didn't really. I think it was the Grodd story. It didn't really do much for me. Open this up and make sure. Yeah, it's totally a Grodd story. It didn't do anything for me. Wait, is that it? Perfect World. Oh yeah, it totally is a Grodd story because it's mind control. I did like Grodd on the Lincoln Memorial. That's like a pretty iconic looking thing there. I dug it. The Flash reprint, Grodd story, which she was the only thing I really liked in it because she looks super cool in every panel she appears in. Then Green Arrow story, I thought it was kind of trite, a little bit, but I also really liked it because look at this. They're fighting the mole men. It's kind of fun, and there's a really cute bit. I called this out in my review. There's a really cute bit them cleaning up that little homeless kid, and it's super cute, and it's one of the more interesting character moments that I think I've seen Green Arrow get into. But other than that, I didn't like the book. You know what? Here, we got to put this one up here, man. I hate to put something that has Jack Kirby's name on it, but I'm sorry, this just wasn't that good. The cover, awesome, and the Jack Kirby, the pages he did, look cool. Find one. I think he did all these pages like this, where he's just doing like, here's a character. Like you look at this, clear Kirby faces. These are kind of cool, but the actual book itself falls a little bit flat. Same thing with this one. It looks pretty cool on the inside. There's some neat looking stuff. You might you might quibble with like the coloring or something, but there's some definitely neat looking art in here. I'm kind of down with a lot of what's going on in it, but at the same time, it felt a little bit flat. Maybe I'm being a little too cruel, and this one should be like in the okay category. Because now that I'm thinking about it, it's not that bad. But I've already put it down here, so we're just gonna leave it right here. We're gonna put Media Star under the threshold of okay into the not okay category. The story was actually kind of interesting. I kind of like the writing, but man, art does this no favors. I understand this is like an 80s indie comic book, and this is very 80s indie comic book looking. But the art really does it no favors. Yep. Let down by the art. So those are the four books I'm going to put under the threshold of okay. I only paid money for one of them. The other three I got for free out of the 50 cents. I like to try random, like, weird stuff. Just, you never know. You never know what's going to be good. Oh, this isn't even a really comic book. It's a preview book. It's okay. There. We'll stack it here. This is okay. Oh man, I'm looking at this and I'm suddenly trying to remember what I thought about some of these books when I was reviewing them. You think this would be really easy because I just reviewed some of these. But this week has been so tricksy at work that I feel kind of like my brain is out of my head. You know what? This X-Men True Believer book here, this was okay. It wasn't anything special. I don't really see how this is like a super iconic story. It's interesting because it introduces, it's a lot of like Excalibur kind of stuff going on here. That was kind of cool. And there was some neat art in it. Like, I don't want to diss the art because stuff like this panel, this panel, in case it wasn't obvious, is pretty awesome looking. Like, I had fun reading it, but was it like mind blowing? I don't think I can say that. I can say that at all. Boy, I just picked up Superman. I gotta remember what's in here. Let's see. Sir Socrates, still Superman powers, Lex Luthor, the Terrifics, and Superman in Need. You know what? The brand new Superman story from Tom King, new one here. I really like the way Superman was written in this because every time the bad guy's like, it can stop you. No, it can't. Like, he just overcomes. He does exactly what Superman is supposed to do. Great. This next story, man, Batman one. Looking back, I don't remember what I said about my review, but I'm trying to think if I had a favorable opinion of it. And if you have to think if you have a favorable opinion of it, I think it was the art I didn't like. Like, this art it doesn't look great. There's some great character bits in here. Let me find the one where Superman is training. Jeez, there's a lot of ads in this. No, that's not the one I want. I want. That's right here. Superman's like, man, without my powers, I'm not cut out for this stuff. I can't save everybody. No. Robin's like, Superman doesn't quit. That's really all you need to know, and that kind of redeems the story, even if I didn't really like the art that much. And there's some other good stuff in it, so I'm not going to diss it. Luthor story, I just read that. That was just published last year. It's pretty good though, because Luthor gets a little comeuppance. And the terrific story was, if I remember right, it was kind of okay. It's got cool art. I love the coloring, but I don't think I can say the story was amazing because it sure wasn't. It was just like, yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, this is going to be kind of weird. I haven't done a review of this. I'm probably not going to do a Kickstarter book. Uh, I've had this for I don't know how many months now, but I finally read it. And all right. I didn't know what was going on, which kind of hurt the book. Like, if you don't know what's going on, it's hard to say, "Hey, this thing was great." And I didn't know what was going on, so I'm just putting this in the okay stack near the top because it's a really pretty book. Ooh, nice, kind of heavy paper cover. Uh, let's just show that 2-page spread. Like, boom, psychic powers, wrecking a giant rock man. Pretty cool. There's also some stuff that's kind of derpy, like that guy's face right there. It doesn't do much for me. But at the same time, he's totally pretty menacing when he shows up on the very next page and is kidnapping some kids to drop them from the sky and stuff. The action is pretty good when it's happening. Like, I enjoyed it. The book was pleasant to read. It was pleasant to look at. I just didn't know what was going on and I didn't have context for the stuff happening in there. That kind of hurt it. Hmm. This is probably a controversial move. At the very top of the OK, just below awesome, Scooby Doo. One of the stories I didn't like so much. Almost all the other stories I liked to one extent or another. The first two stories are basically the same idea repeated. That kind of hurt it because when they're the new stories and you're reading it, you get the same effective story 2 times in a row. Feels a little lame, but the art in here, for the most part, pretty close to model. Like, look at these characters; they look like the Scooby Doo gang. The stories are fun through the whole book. There's a little danger, a little mystery, a lot of silliness. Exactly what you expect from Scooby Doo, and because of that, it wins. One story I didn't like is this one, and it's because of the art. I got comic books flying everywhere. She does not look like she belongs in the Scooby Doo universe, and that really killed that story. Let me now pick up the comic books I dropped and hope that they have not been damaged in the dropping process. They all look okay, thankfully. So I think that's it for okay. Weird. So weird. Hold on. Let me look at Livewire. Let me remember what I said about Livewire, because I think I really liked some of the stuff in this issue. Yes, I did. I don't know if this belongs just above awesome or just below it, but this was pretty good. You know, I'll put it just below awesome. What I liked about it, Livewire actually acted like a superhero. She's rescuing people here. This is the first time in this entire run where she has gone and saved other people. Isn't that crazy? Like, how are we, what is this, issue 11? How are we 11 issues in? She hasn't done any actual superheroics. She's been tortured. She's killed, like, fought a guy to the death for 2 issues. She broke into a place and did spy stuff there. Basically, it was James Bond because she got caught and interrogated and then broke everything. She got loose and got manipulated by a politician for 2 issues who's still manipulating her in this issue. But she finally gets to do some super heroic stuff here, saving a bunch of people at a dinner party. Bad guys. It's cool. And while I don't really care for the art that much, which is probably why this isn't going above the awesome, I do like all the way her powers look. Also, I just realized this Break Free, wasn't there a Valiant event? No, it was a Malibu event. Breakthrough. Never mind. I was like, was there a Valiant event named Breakthrough like in the 90s? But no, that was a Malibu thing. Never mind. Never mind. If I was a professional, I would. But I'm not. So you get what you get. If you want me to be a professional, you can subscribe to me on Twitch. You know, subscribe to me over there. Like $5 a month, I'll get a couple bucks. Or you can go over there on Twitch and watch ads for free and then give me bits. Huh? Huh? No, no, you don't like me shilling? Okay, I'll stop shilling. This is really weird to rank. Okay? These are two very iconic things. And we're actually putting them at the bottom. They're awesome stories. I've just read them before. Who hasn't read Watchmen yet? If you haven't read Watchmen yet, go buy this. Start reading it. You'll probably like it. In which case, I'm going to tell you just go buy the trade paperback like immediately. All right. If you haven't read Watchmen, I don't know what the purpose of them publishing this is. There's no Watchmen movie coming out. Uh, a certain miniseries whose name I'm not going to say, been waiting forever to actually happen. It hasn't happened. We're just yeah, this is down here, and this is like Days of Future Past over here, which it's very iconic. And I actually prefer the X-Men cartoons version of the Days of Future Past story. What's actually in here? But it's a very iconic story, very cool. These are above the threshold of awesome, but they are down bottom. They're the foundation of our awesome pyramid. Not that we're actually going to build a pyramid, but that's where they're at. This DC Ghosts Giant, I think, definitely belongs above here. Like, I had so much fun with some of these stories. And there's a lot of stories in it. Let's kind of. All right, so you got the Spectre story, which surprised me with how much I enjoyed it. The German Ghost story was just kind of there. The Constantine story was just like this book was good when it was kind of mystery stuff. So the Spectre story was like that. The Batman story was like that. The Superman story kind of gets this like great sense of dread across. The Superman. Let me flip to that. Oh yeah, here's the Batman story. That's not the page I want to show. Like, it's just like, look at that. It's disgusting. Anyway, it's definitely got a mood to it, and there's a little twist to it, and it's great. The Superman story. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. That's what Superman has to grapple with every night. Worrying if I fall asleep, I accidentally kill Lois, somebody die because I'm not there. Oh, it's got to be a rough life, you know. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Uh, I just said something like this book is best when it's telling you like a mystery kind of story or a spooky story, because which is true. This Dead Man Wonder Woman story, it's okay. It just doesn't do anything cool. It's got Felix Faust and Cheetah as the villains, and they get wrecked. They absolutely do. I mean, you would too. They're trying to summon like Cthulhu or something like that. But I was just like, oh, this book is so good when it gives you a mystery story. This is a straight up like action story. They beat a crazy Japanese monster, and it's awesome. The writing bounces you from panel to panel, bubble to bubble, so fast. You just devour it. There's no breathing, no waiting, and there's lots of really good looking stuff in it, like that panel right there. It's awesome. Super recommend. This is like Deceased. If you've read Deceased, you already know what's going on in this story. I don't need to dwell on it. And I really enjoyed the Tana story at the end because she's just like hanging out with some kids at Halloween, doing Halloween stuff. Like here's some masks. She makes them chance them so they talk and stuff to scare the kids. It's good fun. Um, but anytime this book is just kind of doing like the Constantine story is basically like, let's fight. The Gentleman Ghost story, I don't think I got it. Like I don't think this story was actually intended for me because I didn't like it and I didn't really get it and I didn't not even necessarily like a good ghost story. But I really liked that. I think that was a this one's probably above the threshold of awesome because of how much it surprised me. Let me just put it that way. Going into this, just like I did with DC, the Villains 100 pager, which I just have laying around because I haven't bagged comics in a while, I was surprised. I was absolutely surprised by how much I liked it. I was expecting it to be not very good, and it turns out it was actually pretty fun. A great Halloween thing. Um, if you can afford like $5 per Halloween gift, you could just buy like 100 of these, give them out to kids. We're not going to put him down yet. He's just here because I can't hold him. I only have so many hands. Well, I guess I could hold him, but what's the point? Dobie Kroger, Dame Commander. That's what this represents. Let me flip over to my other monitor, and I just recorded a review of this thing, and I can't find what I'm looking for. I was trying to set this up my taskbar because I want to show more of the book. Button for that. Automatically hide taskbar. Hey, there it is. Boom. Okay. Let me click over to right monitor. This way I can show a little bit more of the cover. It's pretty awesome. It looks very much like a manga once you get inside. Great stuff. Fun action. Fun character. Like she's got flaws, which makes her kind of fun and endearing. I had a great time reading it. The setting's a little it definitely feels like a late 80s, early 90s anime, which I really liked. And I don't know if that's what they were going for with the way it's written, the way it's paced. That is definitely what I got. Put back to the camera. I don't want to show like too much of this because if you want to see this, go watch my review. It went up at like midnight, so you can go check it out. It's already out there. And boop. Adobe Kroger. We'll just put that like here. Just League Odyssey 14. This is, much to my surprise, the book of the week with this weird deceased cover that I don't understand why it's the case. We get answers to questions. We get, you know, gigantic space explosions. Lots of political posturing. Don't really get to take a break. We see a dark side escaping the universe, and they're trying to follow him outside the universe. It's a lot of fun. Dan Abnett's writing, absolutely top notch. Do recommend. That's what I got for you. That's what I got for my read of the week. I know somebody out there is going to be like, I can't believe you Watchmen under. Oh, just deal with it, man. Watchmen is like 30 years old. It's almost as old as me. All right, get over it. We all read Watchmen. And looking back at the way I just like ranked some of this stuff, I feel like maybe my rankings weren't entirely fair. I feel like maybe if I immediately like turned around and re-ranked them, I might place like Cynthia above the okay threshold because the art's pretty nice. And I still feel bad about what I said about this Jack Kirby book. What I don't feel bad about is what I said about the Flash. Seriously, This one wasn't worth buying, which I think is kind of how the first Flash 100 page, like the first couple of those went. Is kind of like, yeah, this is trash. Don't buy it. It's kind of back to being that way, which is sad because there for a while it was the top of the pops, man. It was awesome. It absolutely was. You all take care of yourself. You have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I sure hope to see you next time. Until then, bye bye. Like, for serious. Oh, wow, we went for 20 minutes? Really? That's crazy.